Hello and welcome to another review here on Theme Park Worldwide, where today we are in the beautiful city of Edinburgh here in Scotland at the Edinburgh Dungeon, which me and Alex have just come out of for, well, it was Alex's first time, and I would say my first proper time. I did it many years ago as a kid, and to be honest I can hardly remember anything about it other than the boat ride that's in there. And as always with this kind of video, we did one at York last month. Expect spoilers in this. If you don't want to know about what goes on in here, then do not watch past this point, because we will be going into detail about the various different scenes in the Edinburgh Dungeon. First, let me just talk about the location of this. It's actually right in the heart of the city. The main train station is joined onto it. It's literally just round the corner. You've got lots of different food available. There's a Wetherspoons, one of our favourites here on Theme Park Worldwide. But if you prefer the more local places to eat, lots of nice little bars, restaurants, pubs. The castle's just up that way on the hill, like the main Golden Street just there as well, with all your different shops and bits of history on there as well. But yeah, we're having a great time here in Edinburgh, but that leads us on to the dungeon. Me and Alex have experienced every dungeon attraction now in the United Kingdom, which I would say we're very lucky to do. I mean, Tooley Street down in London was one of my favourites, and I did that first many years ago before it moved to its current location on South Bank. But that the original Tooley Street dungeon kind of reminds me about what I'm going to talk about here with the Edinburgh Dungeon as well. So as always with these, it's a combination of scenes, and here as well you get two rides, much like you do in London. You get a boat ride and also Drop Dead, which comes towards the end of the experience as well. But we won't sort of ramble on for ages with this one. We'll talk about it in detail with the different scenes, but we won't go on for too long, will we, with this one?
We'll try not to.
Yeah, we'll try not to.
We'll try and break it down, not necessarily scene by scene, but just highlights and things, because it's difficult because we've done so many now, haven't we?
Yeah, a lot just blend into one.
To the style of the dungeons. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start with the courtroom.
Okay, so after doing the photos and being held in like a prison scene for a while, we were taken into the courtroom, similar to every courtroom scene in all the other dungeons. It had a unique twist to it. It seems like actors actually pass you on to other actors rather than just find your own way, which I do think was a really cool feature I'll mention from the off.
I loved that at the start.
It was really good, and there was a couple of jump scares in there as well, which I wasn't really expecting.
Bit of strobe lighting in there, in
nice.
A court scene, because of the witch which came in, which led to the next scene.
And then we went into the witch hunt. Now, to explain, I'm going to let you explain the witch hunt, because you seemed like you were really taken by the witch hunt scene.
I really enjoyed that. So we were led into a room, a circular room, and I could tell from the off when we went in that the walls are going to spin or move in some form here. We were put onto like a platform, which then the walls actually rotated towards the end. We then had this lady telling us the story about this witch. The witch was then sort of chained up in the room. She was like trying to possess us all, and she actually had projections all on her, which was very good. The room started to spin, the chains would shake. A really good scene. For me, them two opening scenes set a really good sort of tone for it all, and I loved that first transition between the courtroom and that witch scene. The fact that the witch actually came into the court scene and led us into it, that transition was brilliant. It was the transitions after that onwards throughout the attraction that for me make it a little bit compared to the other dungeons. Like, it's got some beautiful scenes in here, but the actual transitions is the thing for me, and I think Alex felt the same as well, what sort of let this dungeon down. Normally you have a lot of audio, a lot of thematic lighting in between the scenes. Here we had a combination of different steps, corridors with not loads of stuff going on, and I presume that's because of the nature of the building, which obviously it's nice that it is in an old building. However, I feel like them transitions could have been done a lot better, like they are, for instance, in the York Dungeon. The York Dungeon, where's that? The York Dungeon. I'm struggling with my voice. We went the Hoppings last night, but yeah, the York Dungeon, which do it really well. And to be honest, all of them are very consistent normally with transitions.
Do you want me to finish out your kind of...
Yeah,
I get what you're trying to say, because I think we're both the same on this. Going to the torture scene, standard, however, a little bit of a room shift, a lot more eerie atmosphere. You kind of led into there by the actor on the previous scene. That's something that continues throughout. Then straight on to the Galloway boat ride.
The Galloway boat ride.
Galloway boat ride.
I loved
it. Right. Fantastic, really cool, really dark. It probably, as we said, the eeriest scene in that dungeon, and probably in any dungeon really.
It's up there as one of the scary scenes.
You really don't know what's happened. You really feel isolated. You're on this boat. You know you're on water, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Let's just point out as well the boat ride here. If you've not done the one here before, it's not like the London Dungeon where you go on like separate boats. But this here, the whole group is on one big boat. The ride system itself, very simple. It moves forwards, turns a bit of a corner, it sits there, and then once that scene's finished, you move into the station. But in terms of the actual scene, pitch black room, not loads of theming, but you can tell it's quite a high room what they're using in there. And then a couple of actors, which was brilliant, wasn't it? Really good scare.
It was really nice. There was a couple of jump scares in there.
On the platforms
and
at the side.
Really eeriness. And then your host welcomes you into the next bit, which, to be honest, I really quite liked. So you kind of went into your Sweeney Bean room. Certainly not looking over at the sign, just remember the names of the characters.
Yeah, we're looking at, obviously, here. When we've done a dungeon once properly like this, we have to relate to the sign.
So we just dive over there. No, the Sweeney Bean was really, really cool. So it was like these cannibal type characters, and they were running about. They had tunnels they were crawling in and out of. You were inside a cave, very well themed, and you were the meals basically for these characters. Quite dark, quite eerie.
A lot of dark stuff in this dungeon.
It had a little girl that wanted to like eat us alive and whatever. It was like, oh great, oh terrifying. It was really well put together, that scene. I thought it was really nice. Holding everybody in the centre of the room and things going on 360 around you. I have noticed that with a lot of the scenes in this dungeon. A lot of the scenes are 360. Not one focal point.
Yeah, and just following on from that, it was like raised up platforms as well. It wasn't all on one level. Quite a few of the scenes, like you were looking up at 1 minute at a screen, a couple of actors. Quite a lot of these scenes here do use more than one actor actually. I can imagine the running cost for this is higher than say maybe the Blackpool or York dungeon from just the way it's been designed. There's no like projection heads or anything in this one, not one inside here. Obviously you've seen them in pretty much, I think they're in all the other dungeons to be honest, where you've got like the scene where you're projecting onto a head and it's used for various different scenes. But yeah, like Alex said, that was really well done. Quite a dark dungeon. But the individual set design of these sets in here is some of the best of any dungeon. Like they've really upped them over the past few years anyway, across all of the brand. But in here, some of them set designs, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Following on from that, we followed on to the Anatomy Theatre. Anatomy, I don't know, it's one of them. Anatomy, we don't know, let's face it. It's one of them. You get it, and that was basically your plague doctor, but not the plague doctor, because that scene came later. So you went in, you sat on the benches, you had the leeches that escaped, all that kind of stuff. And it was like she was conducting like some sort of scientific like experiment on this body, which was good. I like how she got someone out the audience and they actually pulled out like from the side, like pulled out the intestines and things, and then she carried on with the heart and all that kind of stuff. Like the bladder putrefied and all that, the usual stuff getting sprayed. But I liked with that you had like a skeleton in there, a few other different bits of scenery. Like I said, the individual sets were really well detailed with that one. I like Alex carry on from here with the...
It was like a mini theatre, it had a big curtain, it was a proper showpiece and it looked really, really nice. The plague doctor you see in a lot of other dungeons is quite small, quite condensed. Then, one of my favourite scenes, I really like it because it resembles meeting Sweeney Todd at the London Dungeon for me. It was the Burke and Hare scene. If you've seen the film, if you know the story, very, very popular. In a graveyard, just sat on these tombs, similar to the seats you sat on in Sweeney Todd in the London Dungeon. Very, very well done. Lights go off, very ambient, you don't really know what's happening, and there's no actually actor involvement in the main part of the scene. Just very, very intense, very, very scary. I really like those kind of scenes. I think it really isolates people into, you know, a feeling of not knowing what's going to happen and the sound travelling 360.
It was pretty much Sweeney Todd, wasn't it? Like the fact that obviously you sat on these benches, but I felt like the benches moved a bit more. Like they certainly went back a lot further than normal. Normally it's sort of like that, whereas these you were proper. I struggled to get off my seat actually when we had to leave that scene. But like Alex says, that was very well done. I would have quite liked it if maybe an actor came in, a bit like the Witches of Warwick in the Warwick Castle dungeon, and maybe they came in front of you, but that did come a little bit later on, as we'll get on to in just a moment with the scene after. But yeah, we keep relating to the sign over there.
We do, it helps that a lot. The lady stood over there.
Yeah, it's a good job they put that out there, isn't it?
It is. So number 8, like I just knew, Street of Sorrows, really, really nice. It was again like kind of the other half of your plague dot scene, talking about what the plague will do to you. You're infected. There's a doctor on a projection on a window, which is really, really cool. You get kind of your Bordeloo!
The usual plague street effects, like with the buckets out the windows and stuff.
Really cool. Then I have to say, we went into probably my favourite dungeon scene in there. Probably one of my favourite dungeon scenes.
I'd probably rate it in my second place after the one at York.
Yes.
That train scene.
I'll agree with that.
Check out our review from York if you've not seen it.
Green Lady scene. Now, if you're familiar with Jack the Ripper's scene in the London Dungeon, you'll be familiar with this effect of lightning, lights on, lightning, lights off. Oh, we've got a rubbish van.
Rubbish is going out. Rubbish day in Edinburgh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there we go. It's on a Tuesday. Hello, how are you doing?
So we went into the scene, sat down on benches. It's kind of like a haunted house sort of thing. It was really, really quite eerie. You kind of had the actor running around leading you. She kept reappearing and disappearing. And also then you got the big scare, which was the Green Lady, who comes out of nowhere with a knife ready to launch at you. Again, just like Jack the Ripper at the London Dungeon, but a very consistent, very strong scene with some very, very cool effects.
The seats lifted up
the
a lot.
benches lift up quite high, then they rock side to side, and then they lower. There we go, it's quite a good arm.
It was really good, and I must say the lighting in there was perfect. As I said, them transitions in between it all are what let it down really, because that scene, much like the others, was really well put together. My favourite scene in there, my second favourite dungeon scene ever. I absolutely loved that. It was fantastic. And like Alex said, the Green Lady, she had like a portrait on the wall, all the windows, the usual dropping shelves for like little jump scares before. Very well done. And that led us to the big finale, didn't it really?
Yeah, so we were kind of coming into what we expected, to be honest, Drop Dead to be the final attraction, because Drop Dead usually is the very, very last attraction. In all the other dungeons, certainly it is. In here, we did the Drop Dead ride. Very, very similar, you mentioned, to the older style.
Yeah, saying Extremis, because it used to be called Extremis.
The Extremis drop ride, using the same audio as that. And then when you came out of Drop Dead, into the labyrinth, out of nowhere.
Into the mirror maze to end it. But there you go. I mean, we've still gone on for 10 minutes about it, believe it or not.
We made it.
But yeah, I mean, I think me and Alex have got pretty similar opinions on this dungeon. I really, really enjoyed it. Obviously, we go into all these dungeons and review them for what they are. They've all got little differences that really make them. But for me, the transitions in this, unfortunately, they do let it down. The fact that it needs some more audio, some more lighting and things in some of the scenes. Some scenes, in my opinion, it was a bit too lit. Like, it was too bright that I could see up into the roof a lot more. You know, I know you shouldn't be looking at the roof all the time, but just as a few little pointers, maybe someone here is watching it, or from Merlin Creative that put these together. But just a bit more scenery higher up would be really nice in the transition periods.
I think
we'll make it for
touching on that, it was the transitions, I think, that, I mean, a lot of people have told us how amazing this dungeon is, and I think the actual actor-led scenes, with the acting quality really good, the scene materials and props and ideas for the scares are really, really good. However, due to the transitions, for us personally on this particular one, we'll only judge it on this run, and we'll treat it as an independent attraction, not compare it to the others for a second. I feel that the scenes were really top quality. However, the transitions leading between them did bring that quality down for me a little bit, and I think if it's a continual experience, it really pushes it up to make it one of the better dungeons.
The words is coming out from me. It wasn't quite as immersive as the other dungeons.
No.
You know, pardon the pun. It just wasn't. It was.
That was a bad pun.
That word, like, it just wasn't immersive.
From start to finish in a lot of the other dungeons, you are involved, you're engaged.
For the whole, like, 90 minutes or however long it is.
And I feel there's a lot of inconsistency, not necessarily a lot of waiting. Actually, we were quite rushed in and out of scenes, which is, in a way, I think what the other dungeons try to achieve and unfortunately don't get. However, the transitions between scenes, and I say transitions, I mean corridors, pathways, you know, room to room, actor to actor, scare to scare. They just felt they were lacking something. The other scenes were so well detailed, and I'm not taking away the acting quality, the operations, everything's been really, really strong today. It was just those transitions between scenes that let it down for me. Smiling in there as well. Sorry, I'll come down here, there we go.
But overall, very much enjoyed it. Where do I rank it against the other dungeons? It's certainly not my favourite in the country. That does have to go to York. But it's a fantastic attraction, and I'm glad we went in when we did, because the boat ride's now closed for the day, according to that sign.
The sign.
So,
but we have done each of the UK dungeons this year. This year, 2018, we have been in each and every UK dungeon, and we are judging it solely off of our...
Yeah, and we're gradually going round and doing like full reviews on them. Like, we've already done one in London, which was in our recent London attractions vlog. York, we've done one of, and of course this as well. So make sure you check them out. And of course, thanks for joining us for another video here on Theme Park Worldwide. Not just theme parks, we like going around to all these different attractions, seeing what there is, actor-led experiences, shows, theatre, whatever it may be, and I love sharing it with you guys here on the channel. But I'm sure we'll come back here again at some point in the future. It's not likely to be in the next couple of years, but who knows, I'm sure we'll be back in Edinburgh.
I'm off to play the bagpipes, so I'll see you later.
Well, there you go. On that note, let's go. I'll come and join you, actually. Let's go and play some bagpipes. Well, I think he means Weatherspoons, yeah. On that note, from the Edinburgh Dungeon, that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later.